Bimbo, the term echoed across the street. This caused Natalia to pause and look towards the pair of boys, wondering which one yelled the phrase. At 5 feet 8 inches, Natalia was anything but a bimbo. She owned and managed Bella Bella, a high-class beauty salon. The blonde woman looked as one of the boys made a sudden dash to get away, whilst the other ran and tripped. She walked towards the fallen boy. "Here." She offered her hand. "Let me help you up," she said with a sly smile. "Are you hurt?" He shook his head. "No." He looked for his friend. "I'm okay. I just tripped. It was my own." He was mesmerized by Natalia's beauty. "Fault," he finished with a whisper. Natalia smiled. "Look, I'd like to make sure you're all right. Let me take you to my salon." She held her hand out again. "You've nothing to worry about." As they entered the salon, Jake's eyes went wide. One wall was covered with photographs of beautiful women with a wide variety of hairstyles. Soft leather chairs sat along the wall. He ran his hand through his hair. He felt a little self-conscious as his hair was a little long for a boy. Jake was sometimes mistaken for a girl. Truth be told, he sometimes wished he was a girl. It was a secret that he kept to himself. As it was close to Halloween, he knew he'd be able to dress as a girl and no one would say anything. Julia, Natalia's assistant, smiled as they entered the salon. "Hi, Natalia." She smiled at Jake. "Who's your friend?" "Jake," Jake stammered. "My name's Jake. I fell over. Ms. Natalia helped me up." Julia smiled again. "Oh," turning to Natalia. "I'll go get our guest a drink." She motioned for Jake to sit down. Natalia sat down next to Jake as Julia handed him a pink-colored drink. "Here you go, Jake. Try this, you'll like it. But sip it, don't gulp it down." Natalia looked at Jake as he looked around, sipping his drink. "Do you see a model you like, Jake?" she asked, gently stroking his cheek. "I have lots of pretty girls on my walls." Jake absently nodded as his eyes glazed. "I do, Ms. Natalia." He smiled as his eyes settled on a pretty blonde. "I do." He sipped his drink. "I do." Another sip of drink. "The one in the middle." Natalia smiled. "She is my sister." "You have a good eye, Jenna." She stroked his cheek again. "I sense you have a secret, Jenna. Would you like to share it with me?" Jake smiled, not noticing that he had been addressed by a girl's name, and his secret girl's name. "I sometimes wish." He looked at Natalia. "I sometimes wish I was a girl. I wish I was a girl. And be pretty like your sister." He looked at the blonde in the picture. "But I'm a boy." He sipped the drink and was feeling more relaxed. "I can't look as pretty as that," he said with a little sadness in his soft voice. Natalia smiled. "Of course you can, Jenna," she replied. "Julia and I can work some magic on you and make you as pretty as you wish." She wiped a tear from Jake's cheek. "Would you like that?" Jake sipped his drink and nodded. "Make me pretty?" He smiled. "Become a girl?" Natalia nodded. "Yes, we can make you pretty and make you a girl." She pointed to a mirror. "Look, Jenna, we've already started." Jake gasped. "My hair, it's become longer, my face, I. He looked at Natalia. "I have a girl's face." His face had become softer, more feminine, more girlish. Let us wash your hair and style it. And then give you a makeover, Jenna. Julia and I will make you beautiful. Natalia gently led Jenna, as we shall now call Jake, to a treatment station. Jenna looked down and saw she was wearing a salon gown. She smiled at the sensation of the material against her skin as she was now hairless from the neck down. Natalia handed her over to Julia. Julia chuckled. The salon chose you, Jenna. She helped Jenna into the treatment chair and turned it backwards so its back faced the sink. The salon chose you because you're a special girl. A girl like me. She started to wash Jenna's hair. I was once a boy like you. Natalia found me and the salon changed me just as it has started to do you. With Jenna's hair wet, she added some shampoo and rose up lather. Jenna moaned contentedly as further changes occurred. Breasts started to form and rise from her chest. Her boy bits became her girly bits and she began to smile. Somehow she was getting her wish. Julia rinsed Jenna's hair and strange thoughts entered Jenna's mind. She was going to introduce her boyfriend to her mother tonight and go to a Halloween party. She hoped her mother, Natalia, would approve of Mark. Jenna giggled. Julia smiled as Jenna was finally ready to get dressed. Jenna came out of the changing room. She wore black shoes with a 4-inch block heel, a deep pink and green ringed pair of stockings held up by a suspender belt hidden by her almost purple skirt with black lace trim. Her black purple tied bodice top hugged her female curves. She also wore a pointed witch's hat at a jaunty angle. She smiled at Julia. Julia then gently led Jenna to the nail bar to give her a manicure. The salon door opened and Natalia came in dragging a boy Jenna's age. I've caught the boy who called me a bimbo. We're going to show him that he has to respect women. Jenna looked up and vaguely remembered her friend. Oh, Joe, she said. Have you been opening your big mouth again? She asked. Joe recognized Jenna. Jake. Jake, is that you? What have these bimbos done to you? Jenna looked at Joe. I've been given a makeover, silly, she smiled. I'm going to a party with my boyfriend. But it looks like you've made my mom angry. I hate to think what punishment she's going to give you. Natalia smiled at her daughter with a feral grin. Oh, you'll like it, Jenna. She paused. I think the salon will turn Joe into your younger sister. She looked at Joe. You see, my salon is cursed. Any male who enters here becomes female. I cannot do anything about it. She smiled at Jenna. But unlike Jenna, who has welcomed her transformation, I don't think you will, Joe. Natalia pushed Joe in the direction of the changing area. But Joe made a break for it and dashed towards the salon's door. Natalia cursed, looking towards the door at the fleeing boy. She sighed and looked at Jenna. Jenna was looking at herself in a mirror. Jenna was of peace with herself. Natalia. Natalia, a voice yelled from the door. I need your help. Natalia turned to face the door and saw a boy being forcibly manhandled through the door by a blonde-haired girl. Jane, what help do you need? She asked. This boy needs to be taught a lesson. He needs a lesson on how to treat women. He called me a bimbo. Me a bimbo. Jane shoved the boy into a treatment chair. The boy named Harry looked at Natalia and over at Jenna with contempt. All I see and hear are bimbos. Bimbos who have come to have their hair primped and preened. Oh really? Natalia said. Jane, Jenna, hold this insolent idiot down. We'll show him who the bimbo is in this salon. Jane and Jenna did as they were told. And they turned the chair to face an angry Natalia, who seemed to be glowing with a strange St. Elmo's fire-like glow. She was glowing green, then pink, then purple. It was as if the salon was using her to channel its magic through her. "How old are you, Harry?" Natalia asked with an eerie, almost disembodied voice. Green bolts arched from her fingers. "I'm 17. And you aren't going to do anything to me," he replied in a rather girlish voice. "You can't make me into a bimbo." "Oh, really?" Natalia said as if asking a question. "The salon has other ideas. Didn't you hear your voice? It's almost as soft as Jenna's." She smiled at Jenna. "You're becoming a 17-year-old girl. You'll be as pretty as Jenna. Twins perhaps." "No. No. I don't want to be a girl. I don't want to be a girl. I may be." Harry went very quiet, and his body started to change and morph into the body of a 17-year-old girl. Harry tried to fight it. He tried to fight the changes. "I'm a boy. I'm a boy. I'm..." With a final spasm, the full changes took effect. Harry became Hannah, his clothes burst and ripped as his body changed. Hannah looked at herself in the mirror and was shocked at what she saw. "Ms. Natalia, do you have anything else I could wear?" "Of course I do. Jenna, be a dear and take Hannah to the changing room and show her what we have for her to wear." "Yes, Mother," Jenna said with a smile. "Come on, Hannah, let's get you changed." Natalia laughed at her daughter's comment, and at how true it was. Hannah came out of the changing room. She wore black shoes with a 4-inch block heel, a deep pink and green ringed pair of stockings held up by a suspender belt hidden by her almost purple skirt with black lace trim. Her black-purple tied bodice top hugged her female curves. She also wore a pointed witch's hat at a jaunty angle. It was a similar outfit to what Jenna wore. Natalia looked at Hannah, who was still a little confused. She wasn't looking at Natalia. She was looking at her own reflection. She was a boy, no, she was a girl. She smiled, of course she was a girl. She'd come to Bella Bella to get her hair and costume done for Halloween. "What do you think, Jenna?" Hannah asked. "Do you think I'll meet someone at the party?" Jenna smiled at the newly transformed Hannah. "Hannah, Mark is bringing a friend with him. So I think the answer will be yes. Hannah smiled as new thoughts entered her mind as the salon worked its magic. Natalia took Jenna to one side and she smiled at Jenna. "I knew you were special, Jake, so did the salon. Can you forgive me?" Jenna fought back some tears. "Forgive you for giving my wish come true. Natalia, I want to say thank you." Jenna paused. "But Mark and a friend are coming to pick Hannah and me up." "Don't worry, Jenna." Natalia smiled. "I'll keep them outside."